Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets, back from the LifeWave conference, where for the third year in a row, I have won the top customer sponsor award for North America. Right. So great time to be in LifeWave. Uh, LifeWave is activates the light of your body, which is basically from a patch, and the patch is basically from, I believe, uh, David Schmidt download from God, and crystalline structure basically activates the light, the love of God in your body. So healing and optimizes your physicality and so forth. So definitely the way to go. Will be the way to go in the future as more and more products come out. One of which will be the PM, the Celergize PM, which is proven to dissolve spike protein. Wow. All right. So just amazing new things coming out. The water machine and other products is going to be amazing, next several months and into the next year. All right. So is the sun being manipulated by the deep state, right? By the Draco reptilian deep state. So I believe so. I've thought so for quite some time. So I'm going to show you guys some of that, and it basically it's obvious that they've been doing this for a long time, perhaps for thousands of years. And I believe that the Earth has risen, consciousness of humanity has risen several times in our history. There are many accounts that say we have risen in consciousness 7 different times, and we get slapped back down. So what causes that? What causes the Earth to go through these crazy paroxysms of events which basically destroy Earth and almost wipe out humanity? So I believe, like the Adam and Eve story, is basically they're survivors from a cataclysmic event that the deep state did. Now we saw another one where Noah, where God came in, the gods came in and wiped out humanity again with the flood. So we've gone through many of these over the time, and the Hopi Indians have the blue kachina and the red kachina, and looks like we got a blue kachina coming through right now with Threei Atlas. So and they have said that the next one will be another destruction of Earth. All right, so let's look at these. This is from Stephen. Where's this site? So it's Stefan Burns. All right, Stefan Burns. Basically, if we go back 3 months, then we're going to start to see, a pattern here. So a pattern of the sun erupting. So he goes back here, huge energy wave. This is 4 months back. Just hit the Earth, 1.9 X flare. The storm has begun, the biggest spiritual shift in millennia. So solar maximum, when we have the sun acting like this, it does have an effect on consciousness. It has an effect on the Earth too, of course, but it does have an effect on consciousness. And I think that if our consciousness reaches a certain level, we can help prevent like these storms from getting out of control. So if you go through all of these over the last several months, we were talking about how there was a possible impact. So it's happening. Impact has begun. Earthquake, space weather, fast solar wind impact. The sun did it. Indonesia had a 6.7. That's a big earthquake. The Ring of Fire has been awakened. 7.3 Alaska. Magnetic anomaly. And start to move up further. We get more earthquake, mega quake. Is a mega quake coming? We thought it was going to happen in Japan, but it ended up happening in Russia, right next to Japan, right? So 8.8 megaquake, strongest that we've had in 14 years, and it was quite a doozy. It started eruptions all over the world. Biggest volcanic eruption since megaquake More volcanoes are active than at, I think, probably one of the, we got to go way back if we're going to find, as many volcanoes that are erupting as they are right now. So every time these big discharges come from the sun, we have these quakes. So we know how they have directed energy weapon use. We know how they have manipulated through HARP and so forth, hurricanes and tsunamis and all these kind of things, earthquakes. So there's probably some kind of manipulation. I don't know where they're hitting the sun with yet, but there's some kind of manipulation that's going on with the sun. I've felt that for a long time. So then there was another 7.8. After that 8.8, that struck Russia again. That was a month ago. And big eruption may be coming. Abnormal earthquake and volcanic activity. Ring of fire is shaking. Things are starting to get biblical. And so here we are at Threei Atlas. Immense amounts of solar energy are supercharging Threei Atlas. So the sun really lit up Threei Atlas, and it didn't blow it up. It didn't cause any damage. In fact, it's almost as if that energy, activated it more and made it more powerful. Gigantic coronal mass ejection was blasted straight to Threei Atlas. So again, another one. So it's like something is controlling the sun, and something is, trying to take out Threei Atlas. Now, Threei Atlas, obviously, has been in our solar system for quite some time, and we just started finding out about it like just a few months ago. And that was because we had independent scientists that found it, astronomers and so forth. So, and then NASA had to pipe in and say, "Oh yeah, we're tracking that." Well, why didn't you tell us? Yeah, we've been tracking it. Why didn't you tell us? Yes, it's coming in. So, it's coming in, and they don't understand what's coming because they don't have control. So that's why they're trying to zap it with the sun. They're manipulating the sun. They tried to zap it, didn't work. I believe it's intelligent life that's on Threei Atlas. I've said that when they first found it and started talking about it, or remote viewed it, intelligent life on it. Giants are on there, and they are benevolent. So part of the thing they're doing is they're trying to, I believe, shut down some of this extreme activity that we have coming and help to mitigate it. But why aren't they getting directly involved? Because it is our process of awakening that we have to go through. And, they'll help us to a certain extent, kind of like you would, maybe occasionally help a baby before it fell and, cracked its head, right? I remember my kids when they were starting to learn how to walk, you just make sure they didn't fall on the furniture. And sometimes they fall down, then they get up. Oh, you fall down. And then they get up and they go again. So that's kind of the way humanity's been for many different cycles. You look at the biblical text, you look at Mahabharata, the Indian Hindu text. They talk about wars where everything got wiped out, nuclear events, all kind of crazy stuff. So we've had these things before in the past. You look at Egypt. Egypt at one time was unbelievably advanced, underground cities on the surface, pyramids everywhere, and something wiped it out, right? Something wiped it out. And there was some kind of event, like a flood event, that wiped out civilization over and over and over again. So when we get out of control, when we wake up too much, get too big for our pants, then the controllers come in and really hammer us. Now, I believe that if we reach a certain vibrational awareness, that the controllers lose control, right? And that's what we're seeing now. And they're desperate. That's why as Threei Atlas comes in, it's taking away more of their power, and it's awakening more of us. So I think that process continues. We'll have some pretty significant earthquake activity before it's all over. I think that'll help awaken humanity more. There'll be more compassion from humanity because of that, or not. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe humanity will wake up in another way. Maybe there'll be catastrophes in our cities, like we're projecting with the deep state, controlling a lot of these big cities, the Democrats and so forth. So we'll have to be just very cautious and very aware as we go forward. Now, if we look at what's going on, again, when you have these anomalies coming off of the sun and releasing massive amounts of electrical energy, you're going to have massive hurricanes. Now, I predicted we would have big hurricanes. I thought that they would hit. For my projections, I've been very, very accurate over the years. This is one of the very first times that I've been projecting hurricanes for, I think, almost close to a decade, that we haven't had them hit like I said they were. Very interesting, which leads me to believe that our consciousness is reaching a certain level. And some of you are like, well, that's because they're taking down the deep state technology, or they're blocking the deep state technology. Yes, to all. So, and the reason why they're able to block that deep state technology is because we are awakening, and we're supporting and projecting people to the front that are being our messengers, kind of like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is our messenger, and he is helping us to achieve the things that we want to achieve. And then over time, all the different baddies that are in government, in the CIA and in the FBI and so forth, will be revealed, and they'll be removed. It's a process, but it's an awakening process. We have to awaken. We have to understand who they are. We have to point them. They have to be pointed out. They have to be, what did they do? And what did they do wrong? And it's you see this process is being revealed, and more people are being indicted. So now you look at this one. This is these are the projections. Now these spaghetti models are where they believe that this hurricane is going to go. So it's like spinning. It's still moving to the west. Now, they've said for a long time that it was going to turn. It has not turned yet. It's gone very, very slow, and it's gone to the west. Now, there's a weather system that's supposed to grab it and pull it quickly east and north. It hasn't done that yet, and it's spinning up there. But this thing potentially is so big and so powerful and gaining in strength by the hour that it may not be affected by that storm that was, supposed to pull it and guide it so that it wouldn't affect the United States. So again, those spaghetti models, as you see, there's a couple of them now that have popped up that take it up into Florida, which was one of my projections from last year. That didn't happen the way that I saw it. It was supposed to come in from the bottom of Florida and go all the way straight up through Florida and cause massive damage to all of Florida. All right, we know the deep state would love to do that because they get their real estate really cheap then, and they would kill a lot of people, and they love killing people because it makes them happy. We don't like to make them happy, right? So we need to focus on our consciousness and grow our consciousness to the point where that does not happen. So again, as you see here, a couple spaghetti models are starting to pop where this thing, as it's moving west, it doesn't get picked up by this storm that's up here moving across United States and causing a lot of flooding in northern Florida right now. So feet of water that's being left. It's really hard for people to drive around and get around. But it's pretty powerful, and it's supposed to like just create like a vortex vacuum and pull, as you see from these spaghetti models, this storm. And it was supposed to have already done that. Right now, as we move into the nighttime on the East Coast, it was already supposed to be impacting Jamaica. And now they're saying it's going to impact the western side of Jamaica. They've evacuated. It's supposed to go up through Cuba, the eastern side of Cuba, and then going to Bahamas, and cause a lot of damage up there. So it's one of the biggest storms ever right now. The last I saw, and they're supposed to be updating it. Even as I speak, it might be updated. Maybe it's turned. I don't know. If it doesn't turn and it continues to creep west, and this storm to the north, as you see, this going through Jacksonville right there, if it doesn't pull this thing, then it's probably going to come up and cause some damage up into the state. So we'll see. Hopefully not. But I've warned about this for when this one was spinning. There's other ones that I've been warning about. And I said there will be 3 Cat 5 storms this year, and this is the 3rd Cat 5. All right, so the other 2 just blew out to sea and didn't cause hardly any damage at all. They caused some flooding along the coast to some areas, some pretty good flooding and destruction, but not on the level, of course, if they had gotten closer and it actually come into or onto land. So we've seen these things manipulated before. We saw them manipulated on a massive scale last year. Hurricane Helene obviously was the most manipulated hurricane in the history of Earth, and they still haven't admitted that. So it came in and it devastated the coast of Florida, devastated my home, lost everything. Of course, the insurance companies would not cover that, and so a lot of people are really screwed in Florida from these hurricanes that have come through, because the insurance companies are wiggling out of compensating people. So, and then it went up to North Carolina because of the flooding and damage and destruction in North Carolina. How does a hurricane, when it comes on land, usually when it comes on land, it starts to decrease and decrease and increase, and it can continue on and drop a lot of rain, and there'd be a lot of wind, but not still hurricane strength. Like, I think it was like almost hurricane strength 2 all the way up in the mountains of North Carolina. That was total BS, right? So it wasn't from sunspot activity, right? It was from some kind of HARP and direct energy weapon, heating that thing up, keeping it spinning, and pushing it around and guiding it around and doing the destruction they wanted to do. So we have not seen that this year so far. They're going to sneak this one in, hopefully not. But wherever this thing goes, right now, just spinning off the coast of Jamaica is causing a lot of damage. If it does actually get pulled, like these spaghetti strings suggest, over Jamaica, it will be catastrophic, because it's 210 mile per hour gusts, and the last I heard it was like almost 190 mile per hour sustained, or 180 mile per hour sustained winds. So yeah, that's basically leveling buildings, right? All buildings. So if it goes over a certain area with those kind of speeds, wind speeds, pretty much everything's gone, right? Now, if it does continue west, it creeps west, as those two spaghetti models suggest, and starts to turn up into Miami or Florida. It will continue to increase in speed, because this is all where it's at right now, and all the way up into here, and even off the coast of Florida, is water that has not been hurricaned yet. And so it's got deep, warm water, and the surface temperature is high too. So it will cause this thing to go to Cat 6 or maybe even Cat 7 level. All right, they don't have those. The highest they have is 5, but they should have after, I don't know, maybe after this one they talk about doing Cat 6 and Cat 7. So we'll see. So why are we having storms of this magnitude? It's absolutely because there is the sun activity. All right, the sun activity, electrical energy coming into the earth. All right, so we are electrical beings, light made of light and electric. It's electric. And so if you look at your nervous system, electric, all right, runs, it's like webbed throughout your entire body. And it's basically electrical energy that goes through their meridians and, pathways and all throughout your body. And that's what we put the LifeWave patches on. So they activate and send that energy, that light energy, up those electrical grids of your body. So the electrical energy that's coming in is lighting us up, guys. It's lighting us up, activating our electrical energy. Those people that have been down for a long time, we've seen a lot of people waking up, a lot of people going to the light, right? Not literally, but going to the light, the good side, right? So we're going to continue to see that going forward. Now, will those energies that are coming off Mike, it will not turn. We are praying words have power. So, Mary, yes, your words do have power. Me telling you that you need to use words of power and informing you that it might not makes you motivated to actually send your energy into that, because it's been creeping west and it should have already turned. So if I bring that to your attention, you start to pray and it does turn, that's good. But if it does turn and it doesn't hit Florida, it does hit Jamaica, and people will probably die in Jamaica and everything will be destroyed, and people will die and a lot of things will be destroyed in Cuba, right? Guantanamo Bay, not, because they're evacuating it probably, but the people of Cuba will probably die. The people in the Bahamas will probably die. So, and have their homes destroyed. So, yeah, go ahead, pray that it won't come to Florida. So pray that it will go hit Jamaica, I guess. I don't know. So I'm praying that everybody will survive and it will have the least impact possible, right? So that's the best way to pray for that. So you have to be careful sometimes when you do pray that you have everything's perfect in your life. Then it may, so the guy that was coming to rob you and kill you goes next door and kills the other. So, it's crazy how sometimes that works, right? And we know that works that way. So the ultimate way is to send it love, right? Because that love energy will do what it needs to do, and it will go where it needs to go. And who knows, maybe your next door neighbor is a murderer and he gets murdered, so he doesn't murder you. I don't know. So it's crazy how these things work. So I've seen this in the most violent places like combat zones where people have very not good thoughts, and it ends up not working out so good for them. All right, so have the positive thoughts, have good thoughts, and we'll see some good things happen. So everything changes forever, says Barbara Hank Clow. She's written many books. She talks about how the Threei Atlas is activating Earth's iron core right now. So she says that the reason why so many people are waking up, because I agree with her, and I hope you guys understand, that there are a lot of people waking up, right? And there are people that are talking stuff now that I have never heard them talk before. I've seen some people that are on that do shows and so forth. They didn't have a lot going on, as far as information. They'd have people come on who had information, and now I see these people, just spewing incredible information out. So everyone, I think, is lighting up, and that's going to be very helpful. A lot of the stuff that that we have focused on and believed in and thought about a lot in the past that was right is going to turn out to be not so much, right? So there, I think a lot of the stuff that we have, because I see a lot of people, myself included, of course, but I see a lot of people that they'll focus on something, or they'll talk about something, and like me, I was like, what? what is that? What was I just like there's so many things now I think that we're going to find out that are going to get dumped that were completely false, and part of us already knows that. Right? So we're already dumping it. I don't know. Maybe that's a lame excuse for being forgetful, but anyway. And I know some of you are like, yeah, like Mike, yeah, that's why. So yeah, Barbara Ann Clow, great author, uh, incredible spiritual insights and so forth. She is saying that we're waking up because of Threei Atlas, and it's activating our iron core. And this happens, occasionally during these time frames, every so many thousands of years. We have this awakening process, and then the baddies basically take advantage of those energies to come in, and they direct them in a way that basically destroys the earth. All right. I have past life memories of being in Atlantis, being involved with the crystals that basically power the earth and kept us safe and so forth. And the baddies came in and abused that power and that energy and basically destroyed the earth. All right. Almost completely destroyed the earth. Of course, we're still here. So I didn't completely destroy the earth, but man, it was close. So, I have memories of these past traumatic times, and I've been kings and warriors and all kind of crazy stuff in past lives to defeat the baddies, and the baddies at no time in history, I believe, are being defeated, and it's not so much from a kinetic force as it is from the consciousness stuff. So I think the consciousness, power that we're going into is the key for us to advance this time. So we'll see. Some of you guys are just not going to get this. It's okay. You're like tuning out or already gone or like, I don't know, Mike. It's like, well, just you don't need to know completely. Just have an open mind and you'll see. Right. All right. So Barbara Ann Clow is saying that metaphysical discoveries, subterranean metaphysical discoveries are happening, and how this is like no time like any other. So that's what she's feeling, and I bet she's got past life memories too. So I don't know if she's into that, but I think she is. So very, very interesting, how some of us are, picking up on this stuff and moving it forward. So here, let me see if Tropical Tidbits. I'm going to look at, share the screen on Tropical Tidbits, see if it's updated. So look at that monster. Woo.
October 27th, we're watching what is unfortunately an incredibly dangerous situation for the island of Jamaica here in the Caribbean, with major Hurricane Melissa becoming a Category 5 hurricane.
All right, so it's not, looks like it's not veering into Jamaica. It's continuing west. So I think this just got updated, but I'll have to check. And you should check. We'll see. We'll see if it continues. We'll see if it turns. If it turns, then the United States doesn't get hit, but everybody else does. All right. So, and it's funny because before this hurricane came in, I was seeing massive destruction for the Caribbean and the Bahamas and so forth. So that they would be devastated, and I thought it might be from earthquakes or something like that. But there are earthquakes that are happening. There was another big one in Turkey that just happened, I think within an hour, a little bit over an hour ago, 6.1, collapsed buildings. There was a big one, 6.0, and then a little bit smaller one that happened in Guadalupe, which is, not far from where the hurricane is. So is the hurricanes do, because of their weight, have an effect on, just the seafloor, and then of course the seafloor down into the bedrock, and the bedrock into the fault zones and so forth. So we're seeing a big earthquake in Guadalupe, just right close to where that massive hurricane is, and we get those occasionally. So Turkey just had a very significant one, 6.1. Like I said, there are buildings that have collapsed. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Lots of buildings, and so there'll definitely be death, all right, involved in this one. So let's look at that. I'll show a little piece of that one. Here's the earthquakes. Let me show the earthquakes real quick. Here's the earthquakes. So here's the one right there, Guadalupe. Then there was that's a 6.1. There was a 5.8, and there's a 6.1. I think they have it at in Turkey right there. So you see the West Coast is lining up with earthquakes. The red is like a recent one. Same thing. So the Ring of Fire, as you guys can see, earthquakes are traveling around that. I really still think, unfortunately, we're going to get a fairly significant earthquake off the coast of Cali, which is our Oregon, and it's going to cause a major tsunami and then activate other fault zones all the way across America. So we'll see. So here's the that's the earthquakes that are happening right now. Then let's look at the next window. Boom. So this next one is basically a little bit of video of the earthquake that happened in Turkey. So as you guys can see, there's pretty good devastation, shaking, everything's falling, of course. So more buildings collapsed.
Many homes have collapses.
So 6.1.
So dangerous is one, its location.
So people run outside, and you know, we had I think there were like 8. It was an 8.1 and then a 7 point something in Turkey, you know, last year, and it caused like 10,000 people died or something crazy. So they're really bad in that area. So a 6.1 and Cali or anywhere else is like not that big of a deal, but because of the way the structure is there, the ground and so forth, it can cause significant damage. Same thing in like you get a 3.2 in Italy, and it's like a 7.2 in America. It's crazy how that works, but that's the way the ground is structured over there. So a little bit more spongier, I guess, in Cali, and it's really hard bedrock in Italy. So it really, when it shakes everything. It shakes everything hard. So that's the same thing in Turkey. Pretty solid bedrock. All right. So we're gonna have to continue to look at this stuff and keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. I'm just getting back home, so this is going to be another short one, but good information coming out from a lot of this stuff. As far as people like saying that we're awakening, so that's a good thing. I think that's a key for us to stop out the deep state and their activities and the stuff that they're doing. All right. So stay in the love vibration. Send that hurricane love, and that's the best thing you can do. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and I will see you guys next time.